Whoa. I didn't think it was going to glide that far. I almost hit the guy and his dogs. Woo-hoo. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to In the Bag Disc Golf. We're back. We have another one brand, one round, but this time Legacy. Gotta be honest, don't bag any Legacy. I don't not bag a Legacy because I got anything against them. Just never really have any. I have thrown a couple here and there. They were decent. Didn't see anything wrong with them. But I got a little stack of them here today. We'll see how these discs fly. But let's not sit here jawing all day. Let's get into what we're throwing. First up, we actually have two of this disc. One regular and one, I don't know. See, alright. Let's jump off here. Both of these discs are Pinnacle Outlaws. This one looks like this. I can see through it. It's kind of opaque, but you can see through it. This is like a sparkle. So the plastics feel nothing alike. Somehow they're still Pinnacle. Now I know this one is sparkle and this one is just regular, so I mean, whatever that means. You know what I mean? Whatever that means. All I know is this one is 174 and this one's 166. So those will be our distance drivers. But honestly, I expect this one to be more stable because of the weight. It's 8 grams heavier than this one. So I expect this one to be more stable. But since this is more like that Champion, Lucid, Opto type plastic, this one may be more stable. So we'll have to see when we get out there. But two Outlaws, that's what we're throwing. Our fairway driver, or one of them I should say, is a Bandit 171. It's got this cool stamp on there. This should be understable. Never threw it, never seen it thrown, never seen any videos on it. I'm thinking straight to understable. That's where I'm leaning. From the numbers I've seen, if I'm remembering right, it was pretty understable. So we'll have to see. You can't always go off of numbers because plastics change things, and not all brands change their numbers with the plastic. Our next fairway is the Phenom. Now this one's 172 or 173, 172, somewhere in there. It feels like a slow fairway. Like this one might be a 9 speed. This one feels more like a 7, just by the rim. But without looking at any numbers, that's just what I'm guessing. It feels like it'll be pretty understable to neutral. Is what it feels like. Just going off the field. Our mid-range is the XL Recluse, and XL is the plastic, I believe. Yes. So, of course, Recluse. That's why they got the spider stamp on here. That's just really cool. I like that. It feels cheaper. This has got to be their baseline plastic. It doesn't feel like cheap like Gateway. Cheap. Alright, so this is definitely up there on the quality notch. It feels good in the hand, I'll be honest. It feels good in the hand. we will be putting with an XL clutch. You can see once it's got like that jelly bean effect that Discmania does. Kind of feels like a P2, like maybe a shallower P2 is what this feels like. The rim here on the underside right there, that does not feel like a P2 very much, but it's close enough to where when it's in your hand it feels pretty similar. So if it flies anything like the P2, then I think we'll be alright out there. And it's 170, so it's right there at the height of the weight that I like to putt with. I like to keep my putters down and wait a little bit, unless it's a headwind putter. But that's all the disc we're going to be using today. So, wish me luck. Let's go hit the course. Hopefully we end up on a par. Let's get it. Alright, Outlaw. Alright, so we grip locked it and we took the wide gap all the way around instead of going up the middle. The disc isn't stable enough to fight all the way back, so it looks like in its track to fight back it struck this tree right behind me. This guy right here. And it just fell right here. So I'm kind of at an impasse here if I should just take the clutch and throw it straight at the basket, or if I should use the recluse, which is a little more overstable, especially because it's a mid-range. If I just throw it real soft, it's gonna hyzer pretty good. I'm not real sure what to do here, but to be honest, the clutch is a little unstable, so I don't really trust it too much to throw because I haven't really practiced with it. So let's take this recluse and throw it at the basket because I know it'll be a little more stable. Oh, I thought it was going in, but it was a little short. That's all right. We'll take our par. We appear to be 5 foot away, so I'll just go tap it out. We'll move on to 2. All right, so wind's starting to pick up out here. Let's see if we can't correct on our first throw. I should throw the other one, but I think this will do well. Alright, seems like we're down by the gas line, so it should be about 300 we got. Yeah, we're right here next to the little 300 foot mark, so we will actually use the clutch as an approach this time. Little soft, little half go. Oh, well, it looked like it was going in. It looked like it was. It was short though. Easy par. Easy tap in. Let's move on to 3. Hopefully we get a birdie here. I think I can get one with the regular Pinnacle because it's just stable enough. I think I can try to overpower it and let it work out. So let's see. Alright, let's throw the regular Pinnacle. Pinnacle, Outlaw. And we're right there on the curve, so we're probably 50 short actually, so we didn't quite get that one 300 if this is 343. We'll see how it is. I'm actually going to throw the sparkle again. Well, we threw it a little low. I didn't get over on it like I wanted to. Hit the path, flared up real big, ended up in the fairway. We'll see how it is. Alright, so both throws with the Outlaw landed right on top of each other. So of course we're using our original anyway, no matter the outcome. but that tailwind is really humming now. So I think I can just buzz this at the basket and it should stay up. I got to put a little air under it though, because that tailwind's going to drop it. Well, I did none of those things and just laid it up instead. I don't know. And that's par. Oh well, we'll move on. We'll get our birdie here. Let's, on hole 4 here, it's only about 200 feet. Let's see what this recluse can do. Not very well. Alright, so we hit the tree. It was going to hyzer off to the left anyway, but we would have had a lot closer of a putt if it didn't hit that tree. So let's see if we can't get this in from range. Yeah. And another par. I was really hoping we'd get a birdie here. What do you say we hyzer flip this bandit? Oh. Alright, so has a hyzer flip disc. I didn't try to put too much power on it, and I see from the flight there, we do have a little bit of left or right here, so maybe. But if I feel like if I would have powered that, it was going to turn over. So I think if I just soft hyzer flip it, we get a good flight like that. Should be a birdie. First one of the day. Alright, so we didn't get as close as I thought we were off the tee, but it's still only about 17 feet. Oh man, I tried to come out. First birdie. Alright, let's fight the wind a little bit. Regular outlaw. Oh! We barely missed that tree. Barely. Like, we tickled those little leaves that are hanging off of it. But should be about 7-8 foot putt. Keep that birdie going. Alright, yeah. About 8 feet. So one thing I'm noticing is the clutch. When I throw it, way understable, even if I don't throw it hard. When I putt it, if I'm not putting a lot of spin on it, it dumps real fast. So it's kind of one of those weird discs that, depending on how fast you throw it, it's completely going to other ends of the spectrum. But as a putter, not one of my favorites, but it's serviceable. So that is 2 birdies in a row. Let's go for the turkey. So let's take this recluse and I guess we'll throw it on a flex line. Looks like about 20 left, but pin high. All right, I want to see how straight I can get this phenom. Just threw it like a little approach. All right, we'll do the same with the bandit here, but flatter. I didn't think it was going to glide that far. Almost hit the guy and his dogs. Woohoo! Alright, so yeah, about 17 left. Alright, so big bird. Let me see, our phenom shot, literally 11 foot short of the basket, dead straight. Our bandit, it did go long. It's over there on the path. So we almost did hit that guy's dogs. Alright, so hole 8. Let's go bandit. I'm just gonna put it out left and let the natural turn take it towards the basket. That should be a good putt. Alright, how about a little back doe action? And there you have it. That's a four-ski. A little turkey +1. Not too bad. Haven't had the best throws on a lot of these, but kind of started getting used to them a little bit over the end of this round, and they're starting to fly pretty dang good. So let's head on to hole 9. All right, hole 9. We're 4 down, which I am completely surprised with. But we're gonna go phenom on a hyzer flip line. Way over to the right. Threw it on hyzer, flipped up flat, still glided right. Yeah. Sparkle, Pinnacle, Outlaw. Alright, we got plenty of distance, but it's way off to the right and never cut back. It just stayed in that headwind and then hyzered back into the fairway. Alright, so our phenom shot landed over here next to the basketball courts. You can't see them, but I promise you they're there. See, told you, I'm not lying. But our second shot that we threw, we're not counting because this was our first shot, is the Sparkle Pinnacle, and it is up there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. Let me see, let me utilize the zoom here. The makeable birdie putt. Let's see. Right there. So it is a, while it's a makeable birdie putt, it's a long putt. But I'm just showing you that for informational purposes. We're taking the phenom back here, so we do have a little headwind, which may be why the phenom flipped up flat and turned over. But being how this is understable, we're going to throw it out on a hyzer and just hopefully make it. If not, we got an easy parlay. Oh, get up. It just didn't have the steam. I didn't put enough on it. I was just worried about it turning over. All right, 4 down. Not too bad. All right, and we're back. So we ended up 4 down, and like I said on the course, I did not think that was going to happen. I didn't really go in with much expectation, but I did think even -2 at the best. Like if we just hit some good holes, and you know, a couple of them shorter holes, I was like, I always think, okay, I can pick up a birdie there. So I kind of factor that in. But without ever throwing these really, I thought there would be some errant throws, I gotta be honest. I thought we would be out there and we would go OB or maybe shank a drive and have to make some scramble shots and catch back up. But we didn't have much of that. It was pretty just boom, 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 boom. I think the best score I've ever shot out there through 9 was -5. And through 18, I think I was -9. So that's the best I've ever done out there, but that's with my own disc that I throw all the time. So taking some new discs out there, hitting the course, gotta say, pretty impressed with how they flew. And not all of them, but most of them. So let's run through them, see how they flew for us. We'll start off with the 2 Outlaws, and we'll just run through these at the same time because it's the same disc. This one was more stable than this one, which is weird because it's 8 grams lighter than this one. But I think the plastic has a lot to do with that. This one's a little softer, a little gummier feeling. And this one's, I mean, not to say this one's hard, it's still a little gummy. If you're an Innova fan, in between Star and G-Star, in between Champion and Gummy Champion. Like pretty much this is a Gummy Champ. That's what this feels like. If you have any Gummy Champ discs or you felt them, which I like them, I have plenty of them, that's what this one feels like. You can see that this one here is flatter than this one, even though they're both flat, but this one's raised up a little more. So I could get more distance with this one. It would leak out right more, but both of them would always fight back. This one, I would have to force it over to get it to leak right. Otherwise it would just go straight and then start to hyzer. So into the headwind, this one's better. Tailwind and no wind, this one's better for me at my arm speed. Now, the Phenom. This disc was surprisingly understable. I threw this thing, I've had this disc for a while. I remember this disc being straighter. A little unstable where it would just kind of S-curve, but straight. Now, a lot of that probably has to do with my arm speeds. It's a lot bigger than it used to be, of course, which I'm not saying it's big, but it's bigger than it was. And I remember this disc just going straight, just being dead laser straight. Now, it turns over. I would put it on hyzer, it would flip up, and it would still ride to the right. So I don't really have a spot for this one anymore, unless I want that big, tall Annie shot. I could use this, but with the distance that thing gets, it's right up there with the driver, like a distance driver. The Bandit. I thought this was going to be the most understable, and it is understable, but not as understable as that Phenom. And I think that has to do with this is a slightly faster disc. If I try to throw this thing flat and hard, full power, it's gonna roll. It'll turn over and roll, and not in the direction I want it to. I was using it as a hyzer flip disc, and it would just pop up flat and just go, and then barely finish in the end. And that's a pretty good disc. Our mid-range, the Recluse. A little more stable than I thought it was going to be honest. In the hands, feels like it's neutral. And at full power, I mean, let's be honest, it probably would be. But every time I threw it today, I wasn't throwing at full power. So it was a little more stable than I wanted it to be. But at full power, I bet it would be dead straight to a little bit understable. But a good disc. The putter. It was okay. It was okay. It was no P2. It was no P2. It doesn't have the same glide as a P2. I'm not saying the P2 is the glidiest putter, but this felt like I was putting a brick. It felt like I was putting like a 185 gram P2 is what this felt like. But it was pretty good. It would go straight. It would always finish hyzer into the chains. But it was decent. None of these discs are gonna knock anything out of my bag. I wasn't that impressed with them, but they were all good discs, and I can recommend all of them. If you're a Legacy fan, you've never tried them, you need to. If you've never thrown any Legacy, try some of these discs. They may work for you. All in all, -4. Can't argue with that. We hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click this little guy, subscribe right now. Check out some of these videos right here. Might see another one of these videos where we're surprised by some discs, or maybe we're let down. We'll see you next time on In the Bag Disc Golf.